As everyone knows, there are only 13 time-traveling pilots in Into the Breach, and today we're going to talk about just 4 of those initial 13. They are the Robot-Pilots. I guess they all are from some version of Pinnacle, but the key thing that unites these pilots is that for their special abilities to work, they require power. That makes them kind of annoying to start with unless they're already an experienced time traveler and thus have potentially the +1 core power. But as a result of this, their abilities can be more powerful than the other time travelers. So let's go through them. Garner can deploy anywhere on the map. That means during the deployment phase, whichever mech Garner is in, it can be placed anywhere that is not occupied by a unit or structure, or, mountain. This does not trigger on the very last map of the final island, but on the initial map of the final island, you do get an advance warning of where all of the pylons will go. He also does 1 damage to adjacent enemies. That is a weapon damage, effectively, so it is reduced by armor. It doesn't scale very well. If you happen to have him on the first island, great. That can be quite useful. But otherwise, it's really kind of negligible. It's got no pushback, it's pure damage. Archimedes can move again after shooting. Now, this isn't, as I initially assumed, that Archimedes can shoot and then move. No, Archimedes gets a separate new move action after shooting or repairing. This means that Archimedes, especially in a flying mech, can really easily cross literally the entire map. Then you have Prospero. Prospero gives a mech flying. This is kind of situational as to how useful it is. I mean, flying itself, there is never any disadvantage to having, and it can be quite useful, especially if you have one of the grounded science mechs and you need to use their repositioning abilities, or just in general, if you have a frontline mech you need to be able to get to the front lines very easily. I generally would try and put it on a frontliner or a mech that is built around repositioning just to ensure that I've got more angles to use. And then lastly there is Silica. Silica requires 2 power. This means that Silica cannot be activated Island 1 until either you shuffle weapons around on a mech, I guess, or you find a time pod. And that double action is really powerful. I mean, yes, it comes with the limitation that you can't move, but if your weapon contains movement, for example, if Silica is in the leap mech, or, my favorite, Silica has the wind torrent, you get twice as many activations. You need to make sure that you've got a good weapon to use it with. I feel it works best if you have a weapon that provides a little bit of movement on its own. The other thing to remember is its action. That means Silica can also repair and then fire in the case of a self-damaging weapon, or fire then repair. Same thing. Potentially, if Silica is using a weapon that freezes itself, that's fine, because it could then repair out of it. Those are the 4 robot pilots. Next time, we'll go through the squishy human pilots.